Alright, buddy boys and buddy girls and buddy others. I'm very inclusive on this channel. Welcome back to Orwell. We are doing stuff, I believe. I believe that's generally what we're doing. As a rule, that's generally how games go. In fact, most of them involve doing stuff. Not all of them. There's an ever-growing genre of games at the moment where you don't do anything at all. Have you seen those fucking Mario Maker levels where you literally just don't touch the controller and you win? And like people clearly put like fucking decades of their life into making this sort of pixel perfect, ridiculous jumping, bouncing thing, and people who play it just don't even have to don't even have to look at the screen in order to win it. It seems like such a waste of time. That's just me though. Should we play this game instead of talking about other games? We have some offline devices, we have some online devices. Very exciting. Here's Joliet's notebook, which I think we're pretty familiar with at this point. Don't think there's anything to get too excited about around here. Oh, okay then. How about my good pal Harrison? Both of them have stars, so I was intrigued, honestly. The starring system seems a bit. Oh, there's the fact that he searched for Benjamin Costigan. We should probably put that in, honestly. Although we do only have yeah, I forgot we had limited data chunks. That's why we've not added everything. We have a new mail to read though. From Gunther Ahrens. I don't believe it's really him because he is dead. To Initiate, I need to apologise to you for remaining silent for such a long time. I have been working out a plan in hiding. Today I need to call upon your help to make it happen. I'm aware of your capabilities and your skills. You need to stop trying to tear down walls, instead shifting to running through open doors. Here's where to find one. 4 PM today, Abraham Goldfels. I mean, it's probably important that this fellow is in contact with Initiate. That does seem like information that's worth having. Could it be that Gunther Abraham, whoever he is, isn't dead and faked his own death? It doesn't necessarily have to be someone posing as him. He could be posing as a corpse. You know what I mean? A lot to think about with this game. And none of it's that important that I work it out myself, because it's, let's face it, mostly a visual novel, and the game will progress whether I click things together in my own tiny brain or not. But I'm just intrigued, and I like thinking about things sometimes. We'll put this in. Here you go, Orwell. Have this tasty data chunk. So, they were going to try and attack Orwell once again. Well, let them come. Honestly, yeah, because, you know, you can't. Well, I don't know if you can't. I'm not exactly a hacker man over here, but from what I understand, if you're awaiting a hack and you know it's coming, then you have ways of tracing how the hack is happening. Possibly. So, I mean, it's... I don't know. It's a thing. Okay, so we can only add 11 more data chunks, but we have to decide which data chunks are the most relevant out of the currently existing ones, and there's quite a few from what I understand. I mean, obviously that was important, but we've used that now. Stop telling me to come look at what am I meant to be looking at here? Oh, we can look at these. We've not looked at these yet. Oh, excuse me. At least I'm not coughing this time, I'm just sneezing instead. That makes a massive difference to my previous videos. So we can find out information on all these people, but I'm not sure how important that is. There's Rattlesnake. We can find out his registered devices and everything. And Wicked Witch. I mean, maybe I feel like tracking Martha would probably be helpful, because then we have extra information regarding Harrison, potentially, but I guess we're not allowed to do that, so fair enough. Alright, well at least we've cleared that off now. There's nothing more to dig through there. So I guess we need to pull some stuff from our friend Harrison. And I think we'll start with this little tasty chunk here, right, that confirms he is related to the Costigan incident. Here you go. This confirms that Harrison O'Donnell is behind the exposure, but we knew that already. Yes, okay. Half our time is up. Stay diligent and considerate. Shut up. Shut up. I am good at this. I've got us this far. This was all me. You can suck a dick. Like, that's not a sexist thing. You are physically capable of doing that. As I say, another name for Juliet. I suppose that might give us another avenue of investigation there if she's used that name elsewhere. I guess we'll put that in. I honestly don't know what to add and what not to at this point, but I mean, we got to add something or else we're clearly not going to progress, so. There we go, that gave us something. A Night to Remember, published by Dixon. Our protest at Stelligan was a lively gathering of open-minded people. Students, teachers, professors, and others formed a bright and colourful crowd. There's Harrison, that's Juliet, I assume. I think this is Nina over here, on her own, being sulky in her green pants. No sign of Abraham, though. Is that Cassandra at the back? I don't know, I just see blue hair. I've got to admit, when Abraham asked me to join Thought, I wasn't sure what to think of it. Join an activist group? That's not a thing for me. Sure, not everything is fine, but organising protests in the streets, isn't that a bit much? But I knew Abraham, as he was my professor for media ethics at Stelligan, so I trusted him. I said yes, but it wouldn't stop there. Harrison and Nina left the event planning to me. Me, who had never done anything close to this before. Whew, a pretty scary task. As both Abraham and I were closely tied to Stelligan University, my suggestion was to organise a peaceful protest there, slowly raise awareness among students. They would most likely be more open-minded, prone to question the authority and the government, wouldn't they? Indeed, the protest went off without a hitch. Stelligan's president even permitted us to hold the protest on campus grounds and close... That was not on me, the words are the same. And close to 100 students, provided I didn't miscount, winky face, participated. Many of them joining in as they would talk. Okay, that was me. I'll hold my hands up to that one. That says walking, not talking. Many of them just joining in as they were walking by and wanted to know more. There was no conflict, no fear, just support. People were still talking about it a week later in the halls of Stelligan, and for me personally, it turned out to be a night to remember. Jules, let me just say the important thing first. You did great. That's why we chose you for this. You even thought of making sure everyone could get home after the protest by organising an extra bus. Anyway, I already got the idea for what's next. Take things out to the streets, literally. Not the university streets, more like the streets. Think you can help us organise that as well? Thanks, Harry. After this, I'm confident I might be able to organise something bigger for next time. The streets are probably not the best choice, too unsafe, but I'll come up with something. Julia, I don't want to offend you. You're new and you did a great job. But this is simply not enough. Our petty protest doesn't matter on a national scale. That's the simple truth. With a pace like this, the government will have erected their oppressive machinery before we even get to the streets. Okay, Nina. Nina, Nina, you know I think likewise, and in the end, you're right. Our next thing will be much bigger. We'll make the news for sure, and we need to be smart about it. Smart like Julesy. That's why I want her to plan the next thing as well. I understand you, Nina, and I'll do my best to get things right and safe. At the moment, I'm thinking of Freedom Plaza. Pretty much everything we need space-wise there. Would that be okay for everyone? I mean, we already know she was the planner. I'm hesitant to add anything now because it's like duplicate information. Hang on, where is... And we haven't actually got that she was the organiser. Oh no, planner of two thought protests we've got there, but I guess we didn't know she planned the Freedom Plaza one. Is that even relevant in any way though? Like, I mean, that would be 2 more data chunks if we put that she organised both of these in. Is there anything in here? No. No, there isn't. I need to be careful with what I'm adding at this point, so we'll leave it for now. Something in browser history? There's nothing in the browser history. Why did it tell me to come look at the browser history? Stupid. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. It's saying there's still something left unexplored on Juliet's desktop, and I don't know what it is. We've read a text, 2 mails, and a picture. Not like a secret something. No, they wouldn't do that to me, surely. Yeah, unless there's something. The picture was in the. Yeah. We've read everything, right? Unless there's something we can find from here. There's nothing in here that's anything we've not seen before, right? National Beholder articles, Steligan University. Been on Juliet's timeline before, haven't we? Yeah. Oh, don't take me back here. That's not helpful. As I say, targets and Langley. I mean, there's a transportation map, but we can't actually go to that. Rose and tech stuff we don't have access to either. I feel like I'm missing something on this very page, but I don't know what it is. That's kind of annoying. Nothing in any of this. Oh shit, why have we not looked at this yet? We have access to his phone now. God, I'm a moron. Okay. What do we have here? We have Quo tracking. Playing locations for the... Okay, this is everywhere he's been recently. These are possible hideouts, except they're not possible hideouts, because they're hiding out somewhere they've not been before. They've moved to somewhere they've not been in the last 24 hours, so I'm assuming none of this is useful to me. Nina, I'm truly sorry for having drawn the investigator's attention to you, but to be frank, you overstepped the boundaries of our agreement. The bombs were meant as a warning to those who were indifferent. A beacon... Oh, this is proof that Harrison is posing as Abraham. This is something. This is something worth having. It was Harrison O'Donnell after all. Well done, investigator. Thank you. Make sure we have all relevant locations where he might be hiding in his profile so we can make an arrest. He's not in any of those. I know he's not in any of those. So we need to see what else he's got. A few numbers here. Got Juliet's phone number. I guess we'll take that as well. Might be something in there that could be useful. Marvelous, Marv. Good. Keep an eye on her as well. I will. I don't think Cassandra's mobile is useful at this point. As much as I feel like it should be, she's locked up, so no one's going to be chatting to her right now. What else have we got in here? Some pictures. Very nice. And a Sky chat. Who's Judy Hull? Hey Jude, happy birthday, have a good one. Hey Harrison, thanks so much. I'm spending the day chilling out with Huxley at the riverside, much needed. So I take it you ain't gonna party then? Now getting too old for that. What? Where's Party Hard Jude? What have you done to her? She died a slow and agonising death somewhere between 2 clubs and a certain weekend, if you remember. Ah, sorry not sorry. Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, you have a good one. Cheers. Thank you for the flowers. I forgot. You're still pulling off these jokes. I'm sorry, Mum. I won't be coming home today. Alright. That might help, actually. Actually, we don't know where his mother lives, so that's not I'm having to be very, very careful here. I've only got 7 data chunks left. I'll be there tomorrow, promise. In case anything happens, call Jake. Call Jake over, okay? Let me know if you understand. Okay. Great, love you. When are you coming? I'm not coming. Do you need anything? Are you okay? I am okay, DDDDDC. Are you coming? Mom, I'm not coming today. I will stay somewhere else, but I'm fine. Is Jake with you? Jake here. We're good, Harry. Oh, jeez. Thanks a ton, Jake. Never mind. His mother's, look, my mum's getting on a bit. You know, she's not exactly the spring chicken she once was, but she can fucking text without having to be in all caps or hammering random letters down. Like, how incompetent is this woman? Meet tonight at Salvatore's for sure. 8 straight? Straight 8. You coming back tonight? Hell yeah, I will. Art. Gonna work my shift at CCC now and be there at 6. Remember when we were back at CCC together? Man, those were the days. You attracting all the guys while I kept pissing them off? Yeah, I'd say we made a pretty decent team, babe. Like good cop, bad cop. I love bad cop. Oh shit, what's wrong? Gotta bounce for a while. Get back to you soon. Okay. Or you could tell me what's up. Not coming back today. What? Why not? Don't tell me you're staying with Juliet. No, I'm not. Got a ghost for a while. Ghost? Why are you ghosting? Trust me, I just got her. You're such a douche sometimes. Talk to you later. Fuck you. Yeah, sometime maybe. So he could be at his mother's house, but we don't know where that is. Angela O'Donnell. And then there's all these locations where I'm pretty certain he isn't. Assuming he follows Juliet's advice and doesn't go back to a previous location. Let's have a look at Juliet's phone before we can make any... What's this? Juliet to Victor Rosen. Carrington. Juliet, Victor here. Oh hey Victor. I just talked to Maria. Why are you not at work? Oh, I sent a sick note. Didn't you No, you did not. You were here the entire weekend. That's what the tracker says, but no one authorized you to do so. Now that you were meant to be here, you're not. Also, what is registered under your account? The device ID does not belong to a company-approved device. You will explain these irregularities. I want you in my office as soon as possible. I don't think so. Taking that one. Just using chunks to find more chunks at this point, but better than nothing, right? Okay, Yosef and Cassandra having a chat over here. I don't think either of these are that involved in anything, but we'll listen anyway. Law officers of Joseph. Cassie? They released me. I'm free to go. Oh, okay. Wow, that's fantastic. I can't believe it. You must have had a hand in this for sure. Well, maybe I did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait, I'm going to pick you up. Sure you don't have to work? Work can wait. What the hell happened to you? Is this the same Joseph Langley? It's a long story. I will tell you on our way out. I'm so looking forward to seeing you again. Gonna be there in about 20 minutes. See you soon. Yeah, can't be soon enough. Alright. Okay. Let's go look at Juliet's phone, shall we? We don't seem to be getting anywhere with anything else around here. So she has been these places, and we know she's not in any of those places now, so again, not massively helpful. Contacts. Sandra's phone number again. This useful? Either it belongs to Harrison, or it's not in use anymore. We'll come back to that. Who are these people who only have one picture on their phone? What is going on? More chitty chats. Alright, hey Jules, what's up? All good? Hey Cassie. Yeah, all is quite well. A bit swamped at work, but what's new, right? It's Friday. Hangout time? No romantic dinners with Joseph on the schedule? Ah, you know what he's like, all work, no play. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Yeah, that's my jewels. What about the haunted house? We could go there? Haunted house? You? Something happened to you overnight? It's a big detour from my usual route into the city, but fuck it, Jules wants to go to a haunted house. Eh? Why don't you take the 9B? I don't know what that means. Is this young people lingo? I don't understand it. You know I don't like that place. Oh yeah, sorry. Although it is a lot faster to go through the Freedom Plaza. Like, much faster. Irrelevant. Yeah, I know. It's pretty ridiculous, being afraid of a place like that. Don't let yourself be bothered by the past. You are free to go wherever you like. Ugh, yeah, you're right. I'll give it a try. Good, Cassie. Make it sound like I'm a dog or something. Still up for haunted house? I am. Girl, I like your new attitude, I must say. Great. Miss Watergate, let's make it happen. This was a thing a while back, wasn't it? That Juliet didn't really like going out, and then suddenly she wanted to go out on the night of the bombings? Maybe she is more involved than we thought, but... Hey sis, how's things? You there? Oh, hey May. Yeah, doing good. That's awesome. Up for a meet and greet with your long-lost sis next week? Gotta hit B-Town on Wednesday and stay for an awesome 3 days at A&D's hotel. You're not staying at home? God, no. Gonna visit them once, that's already family overdose. So, meet up? Okay, let's do it. I'll get back to you as soon as I know if you have any spare time. Coolio. See you then, little sis. See you soon. Juliet, where are you? Hey Dad, I'm at work. It's a beautiful Sunday, so we thought we could have a family barbecue tonight. April is already here. I don't think I'll be able to come. Well, your loss. Why are you working almost every weekend now anyway? Did you miss a deadline or something? Oh, we've got this new project here that is close to release. Everyone's doing overtime at the moment. What a company. This should be illegal. I hope you're getting overtime. Poor choice to follow this Abraham creep. Just because he worked at Rosentech doesn't mean it's a good job for you. God, he got around, didn't he? He worked at everything. Dad, what? Seriously, shut the fuck up. I made the right call. I know I'm doing the right thing now. How dare you talk to me like that? Don't even think about coming home anytime soon. You'll see. I'll make you see. Oh, Juliet's sounding pretty fucking sinister. We're going to go ahead and add... no, it wasn't in here, was it? It was in listener. This. That she's not actually meant to be at work. That seems unusual. Why was she at work then? Good question. But maybe it's something related to the fact that Abraham Goldfels used to work at Rosentech. Getting very low on things we can still add at this point, but got a document out of that. You're not supposed to follow Abraham Goldfels. He is dead. You're wasting precious time. Shush. Shush. I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. We worked on a project called Demiurge, similar to the one that our good friend Juliet is currently working on. We only have 4 data chunks remaining. But we're going to put this in anyway. I command you to no longer dig around in Abraham Goldfell's past. I could easily turn you into a target person for disobeying me. You do not want that, do you? You've found enough material implying that something is very wrong about Juliet Carrington. She might be our impersonator. Good, but it's still only one option. Now we know it's Harrison. Consider we have proof against Harrison O'Donnell. We should go primarily after him. Well, looky here. Flawed. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, Oppenheimer quoted when he realized he made the nuclear bomb possible. For the first time, I feel I truly understand what he meant. I know it's impossible to stop progress. I thought I could change what was coming, control the inevitable from within. I cannot. I made a mistake. I must quit at once. The only thing I can do to seek redemption. So let this be my confession. I, Abraham Goldfells, developed the so-called ethical codex for a project codenamed Demiurge, which has been renamed Orwell, and I have proof of everything I am about to write cloned to a device under the UID PC 6833499021. Orwell is the most sinister project I can think of, a system to spy on every last citizen in the nation. My intention was to govern this highly invasive project by applying strong ethical constraints on what it can access and how that access is granted. I have given a lot of freedom in this regard, yet that was not enough. Seeing this thing in action, I can only look at myself in disgust for having been so naive that I ignored the danger that was staring me in the face. Even when the system is investigating targeted persons, it will jump from one individual to another, ultimately passing all of their indiscretions and making everyone a target. Each test indicated one true fact: no one is innocent. I feel the urge to run to the press, in fact, to give them conclusive evidence that Orwell exists, yet I ask myself, will it achieve anything? Just another news piece lost in the crowd, one that will be drowned out by the latest timeline scandal or whatever Rosen is eating for breakfast. I doubt I'll even have enough strength to leave this article live on the blog. I can't handle the shame of what I've done. I bet they'll start using the project against me and others I am connected to. It will be for the best if I just archive it, but I need to commit my thoughts to words, even if they are just for myself. Ugh. So you know it now. Yes, we hired him for Orwell. This was his doing. It was me who wanted him on the project in the first place. To get things right with Orwell, to follow ethical standards. Only very few people here knew that, and I wanted to make sure it stayed that way. Our most ferocious enemy worked for us, a person I chose. Now you know it all, discovered by the very tool it was all about. The irony is not lost on me. But well, you chose to disobey. I've warned you before, this will have consequences for you. Hey, there's me. I mean, I'm not gonna add any information about my fucking self on here, am I? Do you really think I'm that fucking dumb? Am I actually allowed to like track myself? No, I'm not. No, we've got an offline desktop. I guess that's not much help to us. Thought maybe we'd get something good out of that, but anyway, back to the task at hand. I guess we've uncovered a little bit of information there, but it's not really helped us. What we need are hard, fat, juicy, tasty locations for Juliet and, more importantly, Harrison. What do we know? We know these are places he's been. I mean, the camping seems like a pretty decent hideout place. Of the remaining 4, it's safe to assume one of them is his mother's place, where he lives. One of them is probably Mars's place. One of them, last 24 hours, when was he fired from the National Beholder? You even have to go onto the premises of the National Beholder. We don't know enough about the guy. Like, I could dig through every piece of data we've had, go through every single article again and see if any of these addresses match anything, but I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. That one's at Stelligan Avenue, right? So that is probably going to be the coffee shop. It's not a coffee shop, is it? It's a computer thing. One of those majiggers. The place he used to work, and possibly still does work, but I think he only used to work. Just impossible to actually know what any of these are, though. Do any of them match up with these? On Stelligan Avenue, Portobello Road. Ugh, hang on, I'm gonna fucking make my life a bit easier here, actually. I'm actually going to take a picture of this screen. There we go, that's useful. Aren't phones wonderful? And then go back and look at Harrison's and see if they've been in the same place at all recently. 11 Stelligan Avenue, 59 YT Bond, and they've both been there, which I think was their old meetup place, that cafe, whatever it was called. Internet cafe, that's what they're called. They've both been to 22 Portobello Road as well. Juliet's been to Rosen Plaza, which is presumably where she used to work, and presumably doesn't work anymore. They've also both been to 16 Penn Street. What's 16 Penn Street? I'm assuming Malloy Court, which was one of Juliet's, is where she lives. Either Penn Street or Portobello Road is a place. Is a place where they might be hiding out together. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Orchard Drive is Harrison's mother's place. And obviously not hiding out in an internet cafe, that's dumb. So do we put down the camping? Because that might be, he's just tried to go off the map, you know. We only have 2 data chunks uploads left. And I kind of want to put down Penn Street and Portobello Road. But the camping seems like such an obvious thing that I should be putting down. And Harrison is the primary target, even if Juliet is a bit sus as well. Juliet has said definitively that she's not going to be anywhere where she's been in the last 24 hours, right? Correct? Which rules out Portobello Road and Penn Street for her, at least. We know he's not at his mother's place, so I'm going to rule out Orchard Drive, and I don't think he'll be... I'm going to put the camping down. I'm going to put the camping down. For him. Almost 4 PM. We'll most likely have time for one more upload. Make sure it counts. Thing is this telling me like where they are now, or we know she's not at home because she's been banned by her father. We know she's not at work. Maybe I just put this place down. It's worth checking, right? Let me just go back real quick before I upload anything else. This is my last upload. I want to go back real quick and reread that call they had. Is it? that was just them talking about talking to Monsieur Langlais. What was she talking about with Initiate? Oh right, yeah, 4 PM. They're doing a conference call. Sure, they said somewhere. Sure, they said somewhere they were talking about where they were going to be. Like after Langley left this call. I suggest we meet up somewhere in town and come up with a good plan. What about the old meeting place? That was yesterday, but I'm gonna put the what I think is the shit, I've lost it. This. I'm gonna put this down. Also for Harrison, because he's the one we're hunting, I guess. That's it. I'm done. Let's see what the result is. It's 4 PM. I'm getting intervention teams ready to check all of the locations you've mentioned. Now to wait and see what. Well, we're getting hacked. What's going on? I'm getting Hello, Initiate. Yeah? Yeah? Really? Yeah. Look at your own profile. We don't know shit on you, dude. Don't worry about it. Hello? Is this working? Anybody here? Well, I am. Harry, I didn't know if you would still be around. Barely got here in time. Cassie, you've been released? Yeah, thanks to Jossie. Don't know what magic trick he pulled off, but it worked. This is great. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here, but I am here as well. Joseph, great that you're here. Holy crap. What is this? Who are you? A fool who is baffled by the madness he just witnessed. Otherwise, Initiate. Well, glad you decided to join us. That's completely unintended. What do you mean? You're in the call, aren't you? Yeah, I'm also in Orwell. In Orwell? Abe sent me an IP address to get into Orwell. Means hacking the damn thing incredibly easy. He did what? And it worked? Like a charm, I now kind of control the damn thing. It's really, really worrying. Come again? You have Orwell on a freaking leash? Fucking great. How does that worry you? My control is limited and the government will get the control back at some point, but this isn't my primary concern. What makes me nervous is, why would Abraham have such extensive knowledge of Orwell? This whole thing reeks of an enormous trap. Abe wouldn't betray us. No, he wouldn't. But you're right. Something very strange is afoot. We should get out now. This is the point where it gets even worse. I had a quick look at his file. You would not believe what it says. Abraham is dead. He died quite some time ago. What? That's impossible. I thought that when he first disappeared, but I put it to the back of my mind. What became of him? Dead? No. Abraham, how? He was very sick. Cancer. Oh, you old fool, why wouldn't you tell us? He gave Nina the orders for the bombings after his demise. This means someone has been setting her up real bad. And not only her, all of us. Who the fuck would do such a thing? Ha! The person working on this was clever. They found it all. What did they find? Who was it? Everything in here points to you. What? Jules, you? Wait a second, I can't fucking believe where this is going. Are you for real? Are you telling me that you told Nina to place those bombs? I did. I'm not proud of it, but it had to be done. What the hell? Why? You and Nina, you two ruined everything for Abraham and for Thought. You decided that leaving me wasn't enough for revenge. You had to kill innocent fucking people and blame it on all of Thought. It was necessary. Only when things are at their darkest will people listen, take note, and actually enact change. Abe knew that. I know it was extreme. Extreme! It's goddamn murder! I know, damn it! Believe me, I know. You are the reason I was in custody. Jules, how could you do that to me? Thought needed to be destroyed. That was the whole point. Instead of seeking me out and arresting me, Orwell labelled you all target persons and investigated you all. Screwed up your lives. People needed to see how fucked up Orwell is. It's not protection, it's invasive and manipulative doom for everyone. No one is innocent, everyone is suspect. Abe wanted to make the world stand up against things like Orwell. He knew how dangerous the project was, that's why he worked on it. He did what? He worked on Orwell? This confirms what I feared, but I didn't want to believe it. If so, he could have gone to the media and made it all public, couldn't he? He was afraid. He thought nothing would ever change if he did. Can you blame him? He told me everything, and only me. Funny, I just realised you're actually a much better, yet much worse activist than Nina or me could ever be. That's admirable in a strange and very fucked up way. You're nothing but a bitch, Juliet, a liar and a killer. Cassie, Oh, just shut up. Just shut up. This is madness, Juliet. First Cassie, then you pulled me into this. All those poor people who suffered at your hand. I still don't get it. Why draw all this attention to Thought? You didn't convince anyone of your actions. Why this gathering? Why let me hack Orwell? I just need to convince one person of how faulty Orwell was. Costigan, the guy Harry leaked information about, was the man on the inside, only an advisor. The person who has really been spying on you all is still around. The person who actually went through your stuff, passed on the data, the one listening right now, the investigator. That's right, I'm talking to you. I knew you had to be around when everyone would come together. You had to be listening. Initiate was just a windfall, a chance to make sure you'd not immediately go up against us. Investigator, I have a question for you. Now that you saw Orwell firsthand, do you really think that this system will help anyone? Did you think the government would not spy on you as well? Did you think you were outside the system? Think again. They evaluate even you. Abe knew that. He saw the madness. They observe even you, the investigators. But we can stop it. You can. Remember, you became recruited for being outside of the system, outside of the nation. What if we show people what they saw about you? That even you are not outside of the system, that no one is outside of the system. All you need to do, investigator, is upload the data they have on you, incriminating yourself. This is so mind-bogglingly stupid, Jules. Why would an investigator cooperate? The government will come after them. That's exactly the point. The evaluation is supposed to be a safety net so that no one misuses Orwell. Acting on evidence is mandatory. If the investigator incriminates themselves, they'll be forced to prosecute them and reveal this evidence that the investigators are actually being spied on as well publicly. This is absolutely mad. I don't see this working. I would like to offer an alternative, investigator. It just so happens that a certain Catherine Delacroix is in these files too. I say we make use of the fact that we have control over Orwell. Let's use it as a weapon and turn it against the government. There's something dirty to be found out about Miss Delacroix for sure. Let them act on that evidence. Now we're talking. No, hurting Delacroix won't help much. She's just gonna get replaced. This isn't the right way. Like I said, Jules, just shut it. Nobody is interested in what you have to say. But how can we trust this investigator? What the hell? How did they find... Fuck. Harrison, what's going on? User quit the session. Seems he just fell prey to this great surveillance system. Oh shit, we need to act fast. Ah, we found him at his campsite. Shit. Let me know what you can see right now. Here, streams up. Here's Cassandra's file. Wow, this feels like a slap on my face. They've been collecting all of this. They got me flagged as potentially dangerous. It was this investigator. On the pro side, they did find out about Juliet's plot. That was good. Guess it's not too bad. Maybe we can give it a try. Joseph, your turn. My turn? Now what's funny about your file, Joseph? It says here you were offered a release for Cassandra for info on Thought. And you agreed. Especially given the fact that what just happened to Harrison? Yes, I did. I got this offer and I reported Harrison. I had to. Cassandra would not have been released otherwise. I can't believe this. This is horrible, but then again, you did it for me? I don't know what to think. Fuck. Cass, I'm sorry for Harry. I can't take this anymore. Leave me out of all of this crap. Use quit the session. Cassie, wait. You've got to do this without me. I'm sorry. Use quit the session. Well, this is just great. See how fucked up all of this is? Exactly what we need to show people. Show them how we've all been affected. Get them to fight with us. I shall speak on behalf of Nina then. I only realise now it might have been my fault Nina got investigated in the first place. But it's all clear. The investigator is responsible for hunting her down like this. They caused her death, no doubt. Perhaps the investigator doesn't know any better, and we need to know... And we know Nina was guilty. But it does not strengthen my trust, though. But the investigator found out about Juliet's plans. This is why I say we can trust this person. Meaning the final verdict is... only one vote to trust the investigator. That is not enough. Are we finally going to do this my way? It's down to the two of us, as it seems. Well, my plan to gather support for you failed, investigator, but if you still want to fulfill my plan, go on and give Delacroix hell. You will find something dirty. Investigator, it's time to make up your mind. You can tear down this entire system to complete my plan, please. I will turn Delacroix into a target person. I can easily activate access to her PC for you as well. When Abraham stopped his work for Rosentech and the government, he cloned all information he had and hid it in his office. He told me, and I maintained it. The system is programmed to boot itself again in a couple of minutes. You have access to everything. You just need to find the UID of the device. I cannot tell you here, now that Orwell isn't discussing data chunks. I have full understanding. If you judge and incriminate me for what I've done, I think I deserve it. It's up to you now, investigator. Do the right thing. Finally, I thought this disturbance would never end. The back-end engineers say we've had an unwanted guest. We already know it was Thor. It's about time to undo them. We must be strong. We must show these people for what they are. The nation's safety is depending on it. Find a way to incriminate them, together, as a group. All we need is a hint that Abraham Goldfels intended this group to carry out terrorist actions. We can trace that attack back to a remote PC. I will now manually unlock this PC for you. So, we got three choices. We either throw all of Thor under the bus, which I'm not overly keen on, considering Julia and the recently deceased Nina are apparently the only ones who are guilty. I'm confused about that email that was sent from Harrison's phone pretending to be Abraham, but I can only assume Juliet got hold of his phone at some point and was the one who did that. That's the only thing that makes sense regarding that, but obviously it's confirmed now that Harrison is innocent even though he's the one we've got in fucking custody, and Juliet is the guilty party. And I want to throw Juliet under the bus because she killed a load of innocents, but at the same time, Joseph Langley, Cassandra, Initiate for that matter, even though he did hack the system, he's not necessarily a bad guy, don't deserve to go down with her. My other options, as I understand them, are to incriminate myself, which, according to Juliet, is the only way to take down Orwell, and taking down Orwell might be a good thing, honestly, because it has led us to some pretty startling false accusations and things. But it's also led us to catching Nina and catching Juliet, who, once again, I do feel deserved custody. I mean, Nina probably shouldn't have died, but that's an unfortunate byproduct. My third option is to take down Delacroix. And I don't see why that wouldn't also put Orwell in the limelight, but I guess it won't for the sake of the game. She has clearly been up to some shady shit. I think all we can really do right now is read all of what information we have and make the call based on that. We're going to start with Delacroix. Why are you looking at my computer? You're supposed to trace the source of the intrusion. Leave my PC alone now. You would not want to be assessed as a traitor, would you? How does she know I'm looking? Symes made it pretty clear that he could only see the data chunks I passed through, but she can see everything I see, apparently. See, as advanced as Orwell might be, it won't gather much from a switched off PC. Bye, investigator. Soon you'll find yourself wishing you had listened to my warnings. Whoa, Initiate has some shit. There's just a few bits of information. We have that Juliet worked at Rosen. Yeah. Honestly, just stuff that I know, to be honest. Just documents on these people. Don't think she is behind this. Well, mostly harmless and arrested. Joseph, no idea who he is. Yeah, me neither, honestly, and I've been investigating the guy. New surveillance system according to Winston. Crowdsourced. Can observe the whole web. Secret recruitment outside the nation. Yeah. Bit on him, on Abraham here. Need to visit him at Rosen. I need to know what he does. He really was there. Didn't recognise me though. What's he doing in there? What the hell became of him? Who is Initiate? Clearly knows Abraham from a while ago. We hereby confirm that Mr. Themba van Biljon was replaced as an intern at Rosen Technologies from February to June. Worked in the division of in-house security. The assignment of the internship was completed with outstanding success. Guess we finally got a name for Initiate. But I have no reason to want to take him down at this point. Winston guy's someone he's in contact with. Hey Winston, what's up my man? So, you hear about the Bonton bombings? Yeah. Was on the news even here. What about it? I've been doing research. I know some peeps who might be behind it. What? I spoke to them. They claim to suspect the government, so two possibilities exist. Those people are trying to bullshit me big time, or there's more to it. I need to exclude the latter. You wouldn't know anything about goings on with the nation's government, would you? Actually I might. There's a rumour. What rumour? A friend of mine claims to know a guy going by the name of X2 Think who got recruited by the government. Recruited? For what? For a system called Orwell. Orwell, like the author. What is it? Yeah, just like him. It's pretty vague what it can actually do, but everything points to crowdsourced surveillance of the web as a whole. They recruit everyday peeps for this outside of the nation. Super hush hush. What? Are you sure? Assume the worst. Why didn't you tell me earlier, man? Like I said, not sure. It's all pretty vague, just on the grapevine. You know, where is... Try that one again. Now, where is the connection to the Bonton bombings? System entered a test phase on April 13th. Ring a bell? Holy crap. Holy crap indeed. Anything else? Not for now. I'll try to get more info. Thanks, man. I owe you. Oh yeah, you do. Please don't do this. My friend, I appreciate your worries and I understand them. I too have considered this endlessly, but the result of this consideration can only be to intervene. I don't get it. Intervene with what? Why don't you tell me? I can't risk telling you. Not now. I will be placed at Rosentech, that's all I can say. This very government has deprived me of the chance for a better future. A future with my sister here. and I will not stand idly by while the most sane and intelligent person I know makes such a dick move to become corrupted by the government. The opportunity to have such an impact on our common future will only come once in a lifetime. I need you to understand this. Bullshit. We can always do something about the government. Find some followers, build a group, gain followers, just like me. Then we can start a guerrilla war. Think through what you're saying. Consider the chain of events that will set in motion. I found a cell for this guerrilla war. Then I will recruit members, call to arms, then we start acting, even committing bombings possibly, killing people. They will increase security measures. Nothing gets better. I've had it. You're making up excuses. You aren't better than anyone else. This is about money, nothing else. Be ridiculous. This is the last time we speak. I will no longer read your blog. I will no longer comment. I will no longer care, and I will be gone. Poof. Very well, I understand. You are young. You are fiery. It's okay that you don't support the actions of a stupid old man. I would not act differently, I suppose. Maybe it is time to part ways then. It is. I hope you will achieve everything you want eventually by peaceful means, and you will be able to live your life freely. You will always be the one to initiate my thoughts when your regular... I'll try that again. You will always be the one to initiate my thoughts with your regular comments to my posts. At the very least, this will remain. Goodbye. Okay, so Initiate was the guest who was commenting on Abraham's blog then, I believe. But obviously that data chunk was just hypotheticals and not anything we have to actually consider, so one more thing to check here. Suwubona Fawethu knock knock big brother. How's life in the nation? It's still as sprawling as the last time you sent me a letter? I sure hope so. I finally got to an unsecured Wi-Fi network from one of the houses across the street, so no more running around searching for a spot. First thing I'm doing is sending you an email, of course. Big brother, I know you're still so determined to get me into the nation. I'm writing this email to let you know that I'm fine here. Maybe our home in Cape Town isn't a house in Boston, and of course I miss you dearly, but don't waste your life on this. You took the chance to get out there. You had every right to. Now, how should you have foreseen the security bill, or however it was named? You couldn't. I know you made this stupid promise to come and get me. Forget about it. I release you. Instead, promise me something else, to put your anger aside and live your life, please. By the way, your old laptop is fine. In fact, I'm typing this very email on it. Remember the endless hours we sat in front of that tiny broken screen, and you would show me how to operate it, but mostly we would just play this ancient version of Battleship that showed nothing but grids and circles and crosses. Hey, why don't we play around by email, huh? Put up your ships, don't read further. I start. T2. Did I hit? I'm so looking forward to your answer, big brother, and don't forget that promise. Your sister Mabali. At least we know a bit about Initiate now. I guess this is brother and sister here. Seems like a good guy, honestly. He, yeah. Followed Abraham at the start, and then realised shit was going down and started investigating. He was basically just doing his own mini Orwell, I suppose. What's going on with Gunther? Nice image, that. Nina, I suppose my message might come as a surprise to you. After a long time of contemplation, I have come to conclude that you were right when you said we must perform drastic actions to make ourselves be heard. You'll probably remember when we talked about helping each other. As I see it, I have fulfilled my end of the bargain. The time to fulfill your end has come. I am in need of your help. Let me know when you feel up to the task. This is Juliet though, right? Because this is after he died. Abe, I thought you had left us. I even understood and came to terms with my own thoughts of why you had vanished. I was against the course of action, even though you have been trying to help me. There's nothing to apologise for. If I can help in any way, I'm willing to hear your plan. Just one thing. If we do this, you must make it absolutely sure we are impossible to be tracked. I don't want any harm to come to my son. Is anyone else with us in this? We are on our own. Do not inform the other members of Thor, not about me, not about the plan. They will not understand and just make our actions harder to obscure. Let them get on with their lives. This is my plan. From what you've told me, you are more than capable of building a bomb, are you not? Well, we'll need 3 of them. Place them in the most important places in town, right before the eyes of the public. Freedom Plaza at the Memorial, Stelligan University in the Central Courtyard, and finally the Sokol Mall. They need to be somewhere that they can cause substantial destruction. Hide them well, very well. Watch out that the CCTV doesn't spot you, especially Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting very dry mouth from this. Watch out that the CCTV doesn't spot you, especially at Freedom Plaza. For this occasion, I'll create a workaround to distract their eyes from you. Your temp working situation will be of use here, giving you plenty of opportunities. You will manage, you have my utmost trust. Doing this will convince people surveillance is of no use and might cause a decent debate, or even the revolt we have been looking to incite. Finally, we might break the back of Delacroix, perhaps even the party in its entirety. It will be the public themselves who will protect us. The outcry against surveillance will be so strong it will obscure our actions. They will no longer be of interest. I will call upon you again, not via email, and tell you when to set and when to trigger the charges. Finally confirm, then erase all traces of this mail. Never reply to this address again. Yours sincerely, quote unquote Abraham. Understood. But it wasn't him, it was Juliet! What else have we got? Papa! Papa, it's you, isn't it? I can't not say it, Papa. It's such a posh word. Don't ask how I found you. It took me a while to figure out. You hid your traces very well, but I still managed to find some threads. Abraham Goldfels, is this who you are now? Well, I hope it was worth it. Leaving Mama, leaving me. What did we do to you? Was it just too much on you? Do you hate us? You hate me? Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at you. Somehow I can't be. I'm certain you had your reasons, and I just want an opportunity to understand them. I want to understand who my father really is, why he had to leave his wife and daughter all alone, struggling, crying, hoping every day that you would somehow return. Explaining to my friends that my father was dead, when somehow I always felt like he wasn't. I have no idea if you're interested in me. What I mean to you, if anything at all. I've attached a photo and will tell you a little bit about me. I finished secondary school and I now attend Stuttgart University where I study journalism. I travel between Graubünden and Stuttgart every day, even though it takes 1.5 hours. I didn't want to move because of Mama. She is fine most of the time, but I'd rather not leave her all alone. Speaking of Mama, I haven't told her that I found you and I never will. She deserves some certainty though, some closure. It only shouldn't come from me. It needs to come from you. This is what we've been waiting for, hoping for, needing for so long now. Please redeem her. As you probably know, she is a kind spirit. She'll find it in her heart to forgive you. Who knows, after such a long time she might even be able to be happy again. This is the one thing I ask of you. Do it for her. He never responded. I don't understand. Why did you never turn to the press? With all this material, we could have created the attention you wanted. No, we could not. Juliet, this is one thing I've learned out of all of this. People need to see the consequences before they ever learn. They must experience them firsthand, or at least see them affect someone they can relate to. Otherwise, it is all just an abstract concept. You suggesting Nina and Harry have been right all along? Can't possibly mean that. In a way, they have been, yes. Not necessarily about violence or scaring people, only consequence. Consequences that happen right before the eyes of the everyday person. Not some report, an event that's going on while everyone is watching. How could we ever hope to achieve such an event? If I had an answer, I would have done it, Juliet. I will soon be hospitalised, Juliet, I can feel it. The sickness is getting worse with every passing day. To get up from my chair feels like a Herculean effort by now. We have tried, we have failed, we must accept this. People will eventually discover what madness this project is. All I ask of you, to let go and get on with your own life. Do not waste your life on this as I did, it's not of any worth. No, damn it, it's worth everything, every possible effort. Juliet, you have always regarded my advice, listen to me in this case too, please. Get into Rosentech for an internship. Delete the backup of the data I stored there. Remove every trace I ever worked on this godforsaken project. And quit. There is no place for you. Just walk away and do not tell anyone. I can't do what you asked for. How could I ever? You're the only one who believed in me. Always. Not my friends, not my family. You alone. It's exactly why I'm talking to you about this, not to anyone else. And it is the reason why I'm asking you to give it a rest. Grant me peace in knowing everything will be alright after the rest. Alright for the rest of thought. Do it, please. I will. Promise. That's everything in private. God, there's a lot to read in here. Whoo-wee! Okay. Start with the demiurge stuff. Document is highly confidential. Do not distribute a copy without authorization. 1. Intention. Goal of this paper is to stipulate a set of mandatory guidelines to be implemented into the mechanics of the hard and software combination called demiurge. Said project is in development at Rosen Technologies Limited as of the creation of this document. The intention of demiurge is to allow the investigation of crimes and suspect individuals through online information. The very nature of this project demands for the inclusion and embedding of strict limitations in order to ensure the preservation of the privacy of said individuals and anyone related to them. The guidelines stated herein shall serve this cause. 3. Okay, I guess we missed 2. The human elements. The use of the human elements in the system shall serve the purpose of keeping the investigation impartial, while at the same time keeping powers divided. Demiurge shall be operated by pairs of human elements, an advisor who will operate from within the system, an investigator who shall be a client outside of the system, i.e. the nation. The advisor shall be an employee of the government. Their duty shall include advising the investigator as well as drawing conclusions and requesting action, e.g. considering a person as a target person. To this end, the advisor may communicate directly with the investigator. The investigator shall be a citizen outside of the nation to reach the utmost impartiality. The investigator shall not be able to communicate with the advisor to prevent power misuse. 8. Target and related persons. Individuals referenced during investigation should be considered as related persons unless A. there is a significant indication they are involved in the investigated case, and B. the advisor decides in agreement with the superior that the person in question is to be considered a target person. Those individuals shall be regarded and referred to as target persons. More so, data chunks shall only ever be processed for said target persons. 10. Restriction of discovery. The discovery of the new document shall be restricted to those on which a target person can be identified beyond any doubt, and similar data to the already contained can be detected. The investigator must be prohibited from browsing the web freely, even from public pages. There shall be no distinction between public documents and privately accessible. 17. Conclusion. Based on the guidelines proposed in 2 guidelines, we conclude that the ethical surveillance is possible. How can I write this? This is absurd, marked as to do. Demiurge authorization key. A. Goldfells. Full access. And there it is, the code they used to hackety hack into here. Hickety hack. Notes! Today I started work at Rosentech. I got assigned to my own office in the main tower right on at the top of the 24th floor next to Victor Rosen himself. I've never felt so misplaced in my life, not even back in that place, although I was sure it could not possibly get any worse. It's like there are only youngsters here, rushing over the floors, buzzing in the cafeteria, occupying the elevators, all of them staring at me like I'm a recently unearthed dinosaur fossil. What do I try to achieve here? The constant feeling of not being involved, though, is niggling at me. We had a presentation where I learned the basic project parameters of Demiurge. During the meeting I got a panic attack and nearly had to vomit. I must have been paler than the sheet of paper outlining the conceptual details. The plans for this project are bereft of any ethics or common sense. It's nefarious. Nefarious is not even the word, sinister. That perfectly describes what Demiurge is. The software goes way beyond what I had feared in my worst nightmares. It's total observation of, well, everything, without any user interaction required. And they want an ethical codex. Preposterous. I'm conflicted in what to think, how to feel about this. Thought I might be able to change the plans from within, restrict this thing. Frankly, if I had any confidence in my ability to change it at all, well, that is all gone now. I might be in luck. The development team has had severe problems with the application of their recognition algorithm to automatically collect and interpret relevant data so far. There are so many conflicts, too many applicable meanings. If I play this card right, I might be able to convince the project leads to consider the use of the human element to sort out the misinterpreted and irrelevant data, which in turn might make it at least a bit more humane. It worked. The use of a human element, referred to as an investigator, has been confirmed by the project's lead, and even more importantly, the government itself. By now I have learned and outlined the fundamentals of the Codex. We will use not one, but 2 human elements. To give the human the full ability to do the research and at the same time draw conclusions is just too much power in one hand. Instead, the power will be shared between an investigator and an advisor. The latter shall be a government employee on the inside, while it's crucial that the investigator is a person on the outside so an unbiased opinion is assured. I cannot overstate how glad I am that the project lead is actually willing to follow my advice. One we just read. During the break in Rosen's cafeteria, I noticed a young man observing me closely from across the room for nearly 15 minutes, again and again when he thought I wasn't noticing. Intrigued, and having finished my lunch, I walked over to the table where he sat with a colleague. I asked, I think politely enough, to join in, and they obliged, but the same man who had so intensely stared at me before now looked a bit intimidated. We talked a bit about the projects we worked on, to which I had to make up something harmless enough, and he declared to be a student on an internship for in-house security. This, then, is initiate. I don't remember how it actually happened, but somehow we came to discuss ethics, and I swear that for a second this young fellow could read my mind. The way he talked, how he reasoned, left a big impression on me. Unfortunately, I had to quit the lively chatter before I could ask for his name. Damned be my recently whimsical digestive system. I'd better not eat in the cafeteria again. I've been working on separating persons of interest from those only appearing in relation, searching for how new source documents shall be restricted to where such target persons appear. Only after thorough consideration by the advisor and the administrative staff can a person be considered a target. This should reduce the damage done to privacy to an absolute minimum. On a side note, I'm having a hard time focusing on work with stomach pain like this. I should visit a doctor. This is starting to happen regularly and it's not the cafeteria food. The development team has conducted a first test in a fictitious setting. The results have been disillusioning, devastating. What have I done? How could I have ever thought this was a good thing when in truth I have helped opening Pandora's box? The investigator somehow managed to convince the advisor that every single person in this test was suspicious. They turned all of them into target persons by bending the truth to his liking. They spied on all of their documents. Persons became labelled without looking at the full picture, without seeing the human being. Nothing works as it was supposed to. To make things even worse, they introduced a third human element to oversee it. They call it evaluation. The other two... to oversee, they call it evaluation, the other two, and make sure that the investigator and advisor do not misuse their powers. This defies the whole purpose of the two elements. There is no ethics in this black hole, only a boot stamping on a human face forever. Oh, damn this blindness, damn this naivety of mine. They must reconsider. They must. I say. By the way, I'm aware this video is now like over an hour long, but I can't stop here. We're seeing this through at this point. I'm at the end. I've had my share. I cannot continue the work. My consciousness got the better of me, especially regarding my circumstance. When I argued with the project lead how Demiurge allowed for this massive manipulation, unrestricted mass surveillance, that my ethical codex could easily be circumvented, how Orwellian this bending of the truth was, that everything the investigator considered true became true. He just laughed. He laughed and said that a terrific name Orwell would be for the system. People would assume surveillance and safety with a name like that. I could not believe it. Are they even going to use Orwell's name out of context and give it a new one? This only proves that they have not understood a thing, and they will never. I have to make it stop in another way. It's not going to work from the inside. The people must learn the truth about this madness. Fortunately, I cannot take anything with me. The checks in the lobby are too strict. It's crucial to undo any trace that might lead to me, or else I'll fall prey to my own abomination. The only thing possible is cloning my entire PC onto a drive, which then must remain here, hidden somewhere. Perhaps I'll find a way to retrieve it later. I don't know how much time is left for me. I wish there was more. It's popped up in Reader. Whoops. The suspect was found alone at Orchard Drive, working on his laptop, which was connected to a public Wi-Fi hotspot. When the suspect noticed our arrival, he attempted to flee, but was quickly cornered by officers in pursuit. He complied and offered no resistance to arrest. Okay. He's been charged, but nothing's happened yet. We can get him off the hook. Potentially. Tell you what. Of all the stuff we've been through today, this. You give me a profile, I'm putting shit in it. What say you to that? Oh no. Rating. Trustworthy. Ignored that Cassandra Watergate was potentially dangerous. Sorry, flagged that she was potentially dangerous, but ignored that she might have protected Jay Carrington. That's a thing I did. Can't deny it. As is that. Finds possible contradiction in Jay Carrington's statement. Is observant. Thank you. Provided material to pressurize C. Watergate during an interrogation. That I also did. Warns about a possibly armed suspect. Wait. Parliament occupied. Self-incriminating Orwell investigator causes reveal of the project scale. Government cancels Orwell. Government announces immediate termination of Orwell. Impartial agency commissioned with erasing stored data permanently. No evidence against Carrington. Previously arrested Thought member Carrington released. No solid evidence for Bonton bombing incitements. Carrington aims to renew Thought. Shit. Thought welcomes investigator. Investigator assisting activist group Thought with recent revelations to be declared honorary member. Oh look. Thought has declared the investigator assisting the activist group with the recent revelations an honorary member. It is presumed this symbolic act is an attempt to save the investigator from possible prosecution by exposing his role to the public, since the investigator broke national law by their actions. This is presumed to mark the end of the case known as the Bonton bombings. Experts suggested that after the troubled events of the recent week, the nation and its citizens will finally find some long overdue peace and quiet. Right. What a fucking story. I'm pissed. I'm genuinely pissed. Like, Orwell was very intrusive, and I'm pretty happy that it went the way it did from that point of view. Juliet should not have got off the hook. Like, I don't care what her goals were. Inciting bombings? Pretty fucking shitty thing to do. Didn't tell me if Harrison got off the hook either. Considering he was innocent, it turned out. I really fucked up the end of that, didn't I? Sent the police to the wrong place and then, yeah, allowed one Mrs. Juliet mass murderer Carrington to do as she pleased. Oh well, these things happen, I suppose. Still, this game is really fucking suckered me in, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was... I'm not a visual novel guy, let me put that out there right away. I'm not usually that engrossed by them, but something about, like, even though most of what I did was stuff that I was sort of encouraged to do, there wasn't exactly a great amount of options there aside from a few fuck-ups I made at the end, but I don't know, just really having that sort of power in your hands really makes something a bit more engrossing, I guess, than a regular sort of click through anime schoolgirls talking to you sort of visual novel, you know what I mean? But this was cool. This was cool. Honestly, one of the games that has made me think the most out of all games I've ever played. Like, actually think. Like, actually consider things. And not just in a sort of, here's a puzzle, smash your brain against it until you either find the solution or look it up on the internet. Like, actually consider morality and consequence and things like that is very cool. I'd actually like to see a game do something like this, but then have gameplay as well. I think that would be really cool. Probably a really fucking large-scale project, don't get me wrong. I mean, look at the amount of people who worked on this. Made with Unity, cool. But the idea of a game with this sort of, I guess, power over the story and real sort of consequence to your actions and that, but in a more gamey sort of perspective, something that I could really get behind. Anyway, I enjoyed that. I think I've said that about 4 times already, but I think since we're done here, I want to wrap things up. Not going to be any post-credit scene, is there? Just going to sit and spin at me. Oh, there's another season. That could be interesting. Especially considering I took Orwell down. could be interesting to see how that goes, but maybe I'll look into that at some point. But yeah, I enjoyed that. If you enjoyed that, then maybe consider picking up the game. Maybe see if you can actually get Juliet pinned down for her crimes, although I honestly imagine playing through something like this has less impact the second time around, but you know, whatever. Even if you don't pick up the game, then, you know, spread the word about this game. It's very cool, and I honestly hadn't heard of it till I played it. Maybe that's just me living under a rock, I don't know, but yeah. Good job, developers, whatever your name was. It just told me a minute ago and I've already forgotten. Good job. And I will end this Let's Play here. Fooled you. I'm actually going to end it here.